So guys, I think it's safe to say that I really do need a truck. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be redoing the trusses in my garage. You can see these are kind of like a normal style truss. It keeps the ceiling right at 10 foot, but being a car guy, I'm wanting a lift. I got a lift. I was able to put it between the rafters. You guys can check that video out from last week. The truss is just right in the way. So what we're going to be doing is creating a scissor style truss. So I spent a bunch of money on a little bit of wood. You know, everything's gone up. How it's going to be going from here and kind of like going diagonal up here all the way across to the other side, and then we're going to have one going from here diagonal all the way to about right there. Now I'm following kind of like common sense, and there's another YouTube channel, Enigma Engineering. They did it. They're a bunch of mechanical engineers, and they laid it all out for you, showed you how exactly to do this type. I'm kind of just copying them. You know, like I said, it's more common sense, where I have a steel roof, which these are actually pretty light compared to like plyboard and shingles and stuff. I'm certain this will be fine. We don't really get a lot of snow here, so snow load's the big thing. These are all 2x6s. Everything here is Douglas fir, so you can get anywhere, and I'm using all bolts. Everything's gonna be, I'm gonna screw it just to set the stuff, and then I'm gonna drill through and do bolts. I did get this little guy right here. I got him all done just to make sure that the concept worked. I'm going to take that down, and then I'm going to start marking it to these. They are a little bit different side to side. You can see on the back side of these trusses, up there's nothing. But then on the front side is a post. So I have to make separate ones. One's for the front side of the truss and one for the rear side of the truss. So it's going to be sandwiching. So it's going to be 2x6, 2x4, 2x6. So I'm only doing 4. I'm doing it like this to where it makes sense to me for a car. Whereas it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way I can raise a car up with the hood up. And I'm not going to do everything because I think I don't need it right now. If I come back and add another lift in later, then I'll reassess. Just doing 4 scissor trusses right now will be perfectly fine. And see you in a second when I lay the wood out and get to cutting. The best way to mark these is to get one that's already made, which is this one. And this one's for the front. So I need 4 of them. So I need 4 of these. So all I gotta do is just mark them with a Sharpie. So all those cuts were for the front side with the post up there that's sticking out. The back side doesn't have that. So we're gonna be doing it from here up, but the same angle at the top is the same. So I still copied this and cut it, and then now we'll put it up there, and I'll mark this side where it needs to be cut, transfer all those to the other ones. For the next part, since we're doing it back here on the flat side, this angle is going up. So the angle is going to be on the top of that rafter, and from the center of it down to the edge right here, it's going to be 3 foot 10 inches. So you can do this yourself. You just need something in the middle so you can support it, and you can do it by yourself. So I have this 2x4 and I have a ladder, but this 2x4 is perfectly fine. You just scoot it up and set it over, and then I stick it on the sides over here. It's relatively easy. I'll take my measuring tape up with me, mark 3 foot 10 inches down, and I'll just use a C-clamp, lock it in place. And then I'll come back over here, get exactly I'll do my Sharpie mark over here. So it's exact, it'll be the same on all of them. And then I'll transfer it to all of them. And then we can begin putting them up. So we gotta get our measurement from top middle down to here. It's gonna be 3'10". So I need to go cut that small corner off. So I'm gonna go make a mark on that. And but we're pretty close. So I think if I just do a very, very small cut, let's say right here, because you do want it to sit on this as well as being bolted into that, because you want to take advantage of every bit of strength you got. So let's notch that out right there, and we'll just go like that, just to where it looks like I did it on purpose. But yeah, you guys can see just from having that up there, I'm gaining all this room. So I have the front and the backs all cut. But now what I'm gonna do is just start loading them up there. And then I'm going to screw them all in. I got some Torx head ones because they're a lot easier. They're also exterior, you know, no pre-drilling, all that kind of stuff. These pretty much go through anything. And they're 2 3/4 because both of these together are about 3 inches. Screw them in, set them in, then we'll come back, bolt everything in. Don't forget, you got to take up your measuring tape, Sharpie, and C-clamp. That way you can lock everything into position and get it where you want it. It'll be a walk. So you can kind of see now how it's going to go. One man can do this, but obviously it's not easy, it's not ideal, but who else is going to do it for you besides yourself? I'm going to start putting everything up, doing my mark. Remember, you got from the dead center, 3 foot 10 inches is where you want the end of that peak to be. And I'll just start screwing them in, getting them all roughed in, and then we'll come back and start doing the bolts. I think this is the safest way to do it because we're not cutting anything out right now. We are making these scissor trusses onto the original trusses, and we're going to use probably, I'd say 80% of those original trusses we're going to be using in this design. So at the end, we're probably only going to be cutting about right here, 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 here. You know what I mean? Like, we're using as much of the original truss as we possibly can. You know, to take out this truss and build a whole new truss would be an insane amount of work. And definitely above what I can do. I think this is the best way to do it. Just trying to use common sense and roll with it. First thing I gotta do is do the measurements. 3 foot 10 inches. It's also hot up here, so I'll be sweating profusely. So here's the marking. I'm gonna see if I can put you over here. Just one man crew here. You want this long side facing up, the edge of this to be at the edge of that line, that 3 foot 10 inch line. About as good as it's gonna get. Right here, this center mark is probably where I'm gonna put the bolts. I'm just gonna go on the outer edge of everything and run 2 of them in. Now it's in place, I can drop this and go and screw it down on the other side, and then everything else will be bolts. So now you'll see the kind of stuff I'm planning to gain with these. So I did get all of the, or scissor truss supports, whatever you want to call them, they're up. And now I have to get up there and start drilling holes and bolting them to the original rafters. I got a bunch of 4-inch bolts, a box of fender washers, a bunch of locking nuts. I have my impact with the 3/8 bit, a hammer, all that kind of stuff. I'm also going to take up these torque screws too. Going up, got everything in there. I also got a bungee cord. I'm gonna wrap this around the rafter and hang it. So here's the setup. Everything on a bungee right there. As good as I can get it. Bolt with a big washer. There we go. And then, shit, I left the washers down there. Get a washer. Nut. See how much solid that is already compared to this one. So I got all the front bolts in back here. There's 3 pieces of wood, so those I need the 6-inch long bolts. And then another little issue is that they use those, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're like these metal things right here, these like braces, and they're on both sides. This is where like you just hammer these together and it's like a nail or something like that, and it locks everything together. But anyway, it's metal, so your regular spade bit won't go through it. So I had to go get my drill bits so I can go through them. See, now I just got through the metal, and then you have to then yet again go back to this guy. You literally have just enough to get all the way through. This is going to go through, and this is going to tie everything to the side of the building. So this is the big part. Again, over here, this is going to be the same thing. there's another piece on that side. So this is all tying everything together. That should be out. Yep. One is totally done. Every bolt, every screw is in. So now all that has to happen is cut, 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 cut. You know, you get it. Obviously I got 3 more to do. Definitely getting there. I got to get back up there and change those 2 bolts. They need to be 5.5 inch. Right now I got 6 inch. They're just too big. I should have did more measuring before I went, but oh well. I'm gonna get to that and then bolt the other 2 up. You know, it just keeps going. So everything's physically bolted in, but this is the last piece. You can see those lines are where I'm gonna cut it. Looks like plank. Up there, right here, the cuts, the notches are gonna make it slide in there. And then the other piece is gonna be down in between these 2. And that way it'll be a really, really solid joint up there. So this will go up in, and then it'll lodge into the 2x4s at the top. And then I'll be able to make a really, really, really tight fit up and reduce the risk of this ever caving in. Got these 4 cut. Show you exactly how they go now. Slip it in between here. All the way up. It's in there. That's gonna be all the support I need. Drill through here, put a 5.5 inch bolt through this, and then repeat it down the line again. I've been out here all day, literally just put the last bolts in, but here's what I was talking about with those supports. So I got 1 bolt that goes through here. This goes through all of the 2x6s. And then I have a plate up at the top just to tie it in, just, you know, like normal. So this should, any load that comes down should be nice and supported, you know. I think this is gonna work well. I'm still scared to kind of cut everything, but just got to do it. So I'll be doing that. We're having like a thunderstorm, so I'll be cleaning up and then I guess getting ready to start cutting. It's not really much else to do. Just gotta hope that it goes well. So this should be the last like before shot. I've been cutting out some stuff. Cut out this stuff, which was the front to back bar that went all the way down. I did put a brace from here across all 4 rafters on both sides. These are just 2x4s. And then you can see up in the very top, so right up in here, right here, that's one of the used pieces from there all the way across. So I put that from the top of this rafter all the way down to this rafter. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. You can see, got a point here, go straight down to this one. So I'll have 2 toes in here, 2 screws in here, and 2 toes in here. I don't know if this is actually gonna help, but I think it'll make me feel slightly better about everything. So I'm gonna cut out 8 of these. Here's the 8. Probably just gonna cut the joist right here for now. And I mean, I still get a ton more clearance than I had, so I'll just cut it right there. But I'm gonna put all these in. That way it's a nice triangle. I think it'll be sufficient. I have everything mounted all the bracing stuff that I can think of doing. I think now is the time to start cutting them out. I'm just gonna start with one and see how sketchy it is or isn't. Got the first one cut down up here, but last night it got dark out and it started raining and thundering and all that stuff. I don't have any lights in here yet, so we just called it a day. But you can see here's all the wood from it. I think today what I'm just gonna do is I'm probably gonna go up here and I will cut this one off, this one off, this one off, this one off, and this one off, this one off, this one off, this one off. You know, like that to make it lighter. There's not really much else I can do. I'll probably cut it right down in the middle. That way it'll be like a 2x8 or something, and maybe I'll be able to hold it myself. But I'm gonna be doing it all myself. Just be careful when you're doing this stuff. You know, this isn't a DIY. It's just showing you something I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not responsible if you kill yourself. They told me to get that one done by myself, so now there's a total of 2 cut down. 1, 2. Definitely doable, but it's not very safe, as you probably saw. Even though a piece of wood probably doesn't weigh that much, it's still, you know, 8-10 feet of it, so it wants to yank you off the ladder, and then you got to kind of hold the wood right, because if you let it come down, then the saw will get tight and try to kick back on you. So this is all stuff that's kind of sketchy. Alright guys, again, this was not a DIY, this was just something I'm doing, and maybe you can take some of these steps to convert your space so you can have all the room for a lift. So the last little bit got kind of sketchy as cutting everything down by myself. I definitely suggest having another person, but I couldn't. But you guys just gotta look at it, like, look at all that room. I don't know if you guys can really imagine it on camera, but this is all the old ones. Now look at all that headspace. I should be able to lift up any car.
Good job, honey. It looks huge. Are you happy with it?
I'm still a bit scared of it. It hasn't fallen down yet.
You did a good job. Now you gotta do the rest of them.
I'm not doing the rest of them. This is perfectly fine. This will be enough to lift any car.
You did a really good job, Steven. Proud of you, honey. Stand on it. Good job, honey. Pull your belly down.
Finished product, I think it looks fantastic. There's all the extra wood. If you guys like this kind of stuff, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I would like to keep the channel growing. Again, this is my brand new shop to me, and we still have plenty more upgrades to do. We got to do all the electrical. We got to put in, I have high bay lights so I can actually work out here when it's nighttime. But this was a huge thing. I'll be able to put any car up. The lift that I got in the last video, you should be able to see that was this is actually a 9,000 pound lift, so I'll never have to worry about not being able to get something up there. Thanks for watching the Smith Euro channel.